Many moons ago, Cortezerino needed sand and terracotta to finish his oil rig. So he took the long and lonesome road out to the mesa and the desert to gather resources. However, upon Cortezerino's return to the nether, there lurked a magma cube beside his path, which he thought would not be a problem. But little did Cortez know, this was the Jackie Chan of magma cubes. Cortezerino was struck, and without feather falling, Cortezerino fell to his death. But Cortez was not defeated. He returned to find a Pigman had some of his armor and his best sword. So Cortez, ever brave, decided to take him on. Oh, how foolish Cortez was. Cortez was not aware of a 1.14 bug where the Pigmen never calm down, they never relent, they never stop. The Pigmen hated him and wanted his blood. And Cortez could not return to the mesa. Cortez was banished. Wow, armoured transport. That sounds pretty exciting. What are you doing, Cortez? Are you building a tank? No, I'm just making a nether tunnel. But I absolutely need it, guys. You will notice I am missing some of my best armour. I have had a very frightening 48 hours. Those pigmen at the end of this tunnel just will not leave me alone. And I was terrified, actually. I was crawling my way back slowly. I couldn't get back up on my path. I was trying to get back to my nether portals around my base. But because I was moving so slowly, the pigmen kept signalling, and I was bringing the zombie virus back with me. And I was terrified. If right here around the base, if they all got angry at me, I would be banished from the nether completely. But we did make it back, and we are going to some lengths to make it so I can actually make it to the mesa and the desert, because this pathway of mine was pretty dangerous. It was just one wide most of the way, and the pigmen kept jumping on it to say hello to me. So you can see I've actually done a fair bit. It's far from finished, but at least this part is safe. I've got buttons all along the bottom here so the pigmen can't spawn in my little area here. And we're completely enclosed, at least up this end of the tunnel. It's still a little bit dangerous down the other end. So the idea that I'm trying to do here is to basically make what looks like a one wide tunnel, but I will be able to replace this layer of blocks on the floor with packed ice and be able to fit a boat in here. So I've got stairs down the bottom, so the edges of the boat isn't going to hit another block, and we've got walls on each side, and that will keep the boat going nice and straight. And then we've got a little bit of glass so I can look out the windows as we go. But there is a lot more to do on this yet. I'm nearly finished. We just basically need the icing to finish the end of the tunnel. But this tunnel does deserve the title of the episode, because this has completely changed what I was going to do this episode. I've had to do many different things. A lot of stone went into this. So I had to get the stone. I had none. Okay, we are coming up on where it is still a little bit dangerous. Let me just get away from there. I don't want a pigman dropping off the end. I haven't put the roof on this bit just because I didn't have enough blocks to finish it off. And as soon as I start putting a roof on, pigmen will be able to spawn on the top and come down here and say hello. And see, it doesn't look that dangerous. It doesn't look like these guys are angry at me, but that is actually part of their plan. You can see I've got a little pillar here that I use to get back up on my path. That's because these guys are being sneaky. I was coming here before I'd spawn-proofed this whole area, and there was a pigman right in the middle of the path. And I thought, oh, well, they don't seem to be doing anything. Maybe they're not angry at me anymore. And I played a bit of chicken with this guy going back and forth. and he completely ignored me. So I crouched because this was still just a one wide path of blocks, and as I was going past him, that's when they sprung the trap and he punched me off, and suddenly all these guys ran and attacked me. But I got back up and I punished the guy for knocking me off. But at least now we can get to the maester in the desert in some sort of safety. And there is still a guy running around here with my armor. Look at that. I got a bit of sand all the way down there. That's where I sort of dug into the wall and tried to hide. Lost a lot of my sand that I've been mining. But where is this dude? He is... I'm going to get my armor back one day. Is anyone going to drop my head here? Probably not. Yes, he's around. He's around. They were all gathering below this part of the path when I was building it. But yes, I'll quickly show you what my maester in desert looks like. Let's hope it's not nighttime when we go through. And of course it is nighttime. Don't get blown up, don't get blown up. I think we're okay, guys. The bunnies are not a threat during the day. They tend to calm down. But when the full moon comes out, we get were-bunnies out here. So this was the very cool place in my portal appeared. So we've got a desert right here. We've got our mesa there. And there was my big surprise, all the icebergs out in that direction. So that is where I'm going to get the ice for my tunnel. But we are not doing that. We are going to do that by the end of the episode. But I've been in the nether for so long. I've been in the nether for 48 hours building that tunnel. I want to go back to base and show you where I got all the stone to make my armoured transportation, which sounds cool, but it's actually just a nether tunnel. Where I got all the stone for that. Come to think of it, before we rush off to my stone mine, I should just show you where I'm up to with the building of my oil rig, because I have a tendency to just build the whole thing and then go, ta-da, look what I've done. So I've done the bottom here. I had thought last episode that this sort of, the bit here where I've done this floor, that I would be hiding farms and stuff in there. But then I realised if I wanted to make the bottom of the oil rig look pretty good, then I was going to end up taking up all the room that I had in that little area. So instead, I've done this. Got a few lanterns up there so it's not super duper dark. But I think that does look pretty cool for the bottom. But let's run up the top. And I think my entrance is down here. I've just got some scaffolding going up one of the legs. Here we go. So before running into all those problems with the zombie pigmen, the plan had been that I was going to build an iron farm, and I haven't even, well, I've sort of started it, but I haven't really done anything because I've been busy making nether tunnels and mining stone. But here I am, and I'm trying to map out what the top of the oil rig's going to look like. And you can see this big square I've got here with the white concrete. That is the iron farm. It's actually taking up a lot more room than I thought, but if we press F3 and G, I had to get the villagers inside a chunk border, so I've done it a little bit differently from my tutorial. So this will be the center of the farm. This is where the golems are going to drop down. And doing it like this, I can just fit the little villager holding cell inside of the chunk borders, so we're not going to get any of them disappear by accident. So yes, just on top of us here is going to be the iron farm, and I'm not going to get the sound of running water because my iron blade doesn't use any water. And just underneath, this is going to be my new base. Not really that big. And you might think, well, this looks a bit plain too, Cortez. You've just got a stone floor. Well, I actually really like the texture in 1.14. The new textures for stone. It looks good. And I went into creative and I spent about 15 minutes trying out different floor designs. And with this colour palette I've got going on, just plain stone seemed to be the best. I might decorate bits of it later on, but we'll see. So I couldn't put my pumpkin and melon farm below us anymore because I took up all the room, making that pretty underneath to the oil rig. So the plan is now I'm going to try and build a small one in this space right here. And then just on the other side, this is going to be my new storage room. We've got lots and lots of chests. It's part of it's going to be automatic, but we'll get into that later when I actually start putting in the redstone that I need. But most of it's just going to be manual storage. I've got to put things in each chest. No real sorting system. But yes, I'll get onto the iron farm a little bit later. First, let's go down to my stone mine. So I had just been down in my mine shafts digging tunnels, trying to get a bit of stone that way, but it was really, really slow, and then I thought, what is the other project that I will need to do eventually? This is it, a slime farm! I've done tons of digging, I've only got the small beacon, so it did take me a very long time, but this gave me all the stone I needed to complete my nether tunnel, and I might as well just go down there and fight the slimes. I'm a bit worried about falling off this ledge. Got no feather falling, so I will die if I fall down there. At least the slimes aren't going to take my armor though. So yes guys, this was a lot of work, and I actually made this much bigger than I'd originally intended, because last episode I was saying that every slime farm, like even on a server, you always end up with... Oh, I'm getting too close. Can these guys hit you when they're babies? Can you hit me? Probably can't. Yes, every slime farm, even on a server that you build, you always end up with way more slime than you're ever going to need. So I was only going to build a small one, but I wasn't really paying attention to what height I was at when I started digging up there. So, oh, hello. I was at about level... That roof is at about level 43, so I've ended up making a very big one. So now usually what you would do, see this area I've dug out, that is just the 16 by 16 chunk, and usually you put your platforms for the slimes to spawn on here, and then you dig out another 3 or 4 blocks so the slimes can fall off the edges. And another reason you do that is, let's say a big slime wants to spawn right here. That wall is going to stop him from wanting to spawn. So to get all the spawning spaces possible, you do need to knock the wall out a few more blocks on each side, which I cannot be bothered doing. I didn't want to make a big slime farm, and if I dig out another 3 or 4 blocks on each side, I'm basically digging out this entire area again. It's probably just as many blocks, if not more. So we are going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to be a little bit cheaty. I'm not going to dig around all around the outside of the chunk. I'm just going to dig little sections into the wall, and I think just as they bounce around, they will fall into there and go down the bottom. And I've got an idea for a cool collection system. So what I think I'm going to do now, guys, it's going to take me a long time to do. We're just going to make a cut, and I'm going to build it, and we are going to see if my idea works. Well, we've actually got an Enderman in the slime farm, which I kind of want to get him because I need ender pearls pretty badly. I want to see if I can coax him up here, or if I'm just going to cause big problems for myself. I think I've just caused problems for myself. Okay, mate, you do your thing. Let's talk about the slime farm. So this is my dodgy, cheaty design to save having to dig out even more room. So I've just got these 4 wide little things, and I've got one on... I'm looking at him again, that's silly. They're 4 wide, I got one on all 4 sides, and they're 3 deep. And it seems to be working pretty good. Is the enemy going to appear there? No. See you, mate! Bye-bye! And the slimes seem to be jumping in there pretty well. So I've just got a 2.5 block gap between each of these layers. And when we come all the way down the bottom, hey slime, you can see one looks like he's getting in over there. Can the Enderman spawn down here? No, he can't. I've half-slabbed everything. So what I'm doing here is when they fall down to the bottom, they just land on the magma blocks and they die. And then I've got a line of half-slabs along there. So the little baby slimes can't come down here. They get stuck on the magma blocks, but as soon as they die, all their items come down here. So the easy way to do a collection system here would just be, you can see them here, bye-bye, die, and in come the items. So the easy way to do the collection system would just be to have a ring of hoppers here and a couple of chests collecting it all. But I actually want to send all my goodies upstairs. Not now though, not now. We're going to do it eventually, because I learnt in Season 3 of the Diamond Society, what I did is I'd make a farm and then I'd make the elevator to send all the goodies up. And then later on I'd make a second farm, and I couldn't really connect the item elevators. So what I want to do is just, I'm collecting it all in a little chest down here, and then later on, when I know if I'm making any more farms, then I can link them all up to the one collection system and send them up to the base. So what I've got, instead of having water coming down here, I've got the water headed in the other direction, and all the items will go under these half slabs. Doesn't matter that there's a bit of bedrock there, the items still scoot under. and then just into a little water stream over to this chest. And look at that, guys. Like I said, you always get way more slime than you're ever going to need from a slime farm. So I've made this one too big. But yeah, even just with these little bits on the sides, rather than digging out the whole area around it, it works great. So I've got a couple of slime blocks there because if an item comes flying in up the top here, it has enough speed to cross over and get stuck on the pressure plates over here. So putting the slime blocks there just slows it down so it gets caught in the water stream and heads off. I think some items still collect around here, but as you can see, I have more than enough. So yes, that is my shivers. Come on. I really need to probably get a command block going somewhere to kill this Enderman griefing. They keep taking blocks out. Let's just seal that up. And I apologise for my voice, guys. I have been deathly ill the last couple of days. That's why I've done a ton of building, but I haven't been doing any recording. But there is one other thing I want to show you before we finish the episode. We are going to go off to my armoured transportation system, and I just need to grab a little bit of glass because the tunnel isn't quite finished yet. This is what I'm using for XP at the moment, by the way. I can lock the hoppers underneath my furnaces, and then when an item gets stuck in there, because the hopper's locked, I can take it out and get a very terrible amount of XP. Not very much. I really need to get my farms going so I can do some villager trading. Now, I've actually moved my portal all the way up here because you can see we are nearly done with the iron farm. I've moved it up here so I can bring the villagers from way off yonder and just drop 2 into the little holding pen over here and then start breeding them up. And I'm using glass underneath in these corners now because when we're breeding them up, the little babies will fall out the edges. But if I have solid blocks there or slabs, then golems spawn inside the pen. So I'm trying glass and we'll see if that works. But let's jump into the nether and head off to our new tunnel. And you can see I'm getting this area ready for bringing the villagers through. So basically, you need to push a villager through a portal because he won't go through the portal if he's inside a boat or a minecart. Then once he's through, I'll just put him in a boat and take him off to the next portal and push him through again. That is the easiest way to move villagers in the nether and to stock up your iron farm if you're ever wondering, how do I get the villagers all the way up into there? But where is our tunnel? I'm a little bit worried about this actually because I've tried these ice tunnels on servers before and the boat moves so quickly that nothing loads in quick enough. But I'm hoping with single player this will be okay. And I've had Enderman griefing the tunnel, so hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. And because this tunnel is so sort of narrow, I'm a little bit worried that the boat's going to glitch out. But let's give it a go. I could have used blue ice in this tunnel, but I figured I get scared moving at this speed. We don't need blue ice. This is pretty good. You can see, guys, this is a very long way to the mesa. So even though I didn't plan on doing a tunnel just yet, it's probably good to have this in. It is going to save me a lot of time. Are we there yet? And I've got a little fence post to stop us. That worked pretty cool, actually. I am happy with that. And what am I stuck on? Oh no, we're glitching out. Look at this. I can't move. Where's the boat? Oh, I knew something like this would happen. What am I stuck in? Am I going to die? No, I think we're okay. I think I may have got stuck in that. We might have to replace that with something else. Let's try glass. No. Oh, we are glitching. I bet you the boat is right there. Let's log out and come back in. Yes. Lucky I didn't use some blue ice. That is quite fast enough. But we'll try glass for next time. And we will finish off our lovely little tunnel. There wasn't much to go. So the plan had been for this episode to make the iron farm first and then get started on a whole bunch of little micro farms for my oil rig base. But, the angry pigmen had other ideas, so we've done another tunnel and a slime farm instead. But now, guys, I am ready to get started on all the little redstone goodies. And, that's when I tend to invent things as well. When I'm playing in survival, I tend to get an idea, and I've already got an idea for a new kind of AFK fisher, so we will give that a go as well next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Cortezerino. I will see you later.